Hey gamers, this is a compilation video of the 500, 1000, and 1500 subscriber special Q&A videos that I've done, put together for your easy convenience. I was thinking about doing this for when I hit 2000 subscribers, but I wanted to get it over with. So here you go. Timestamps will be in the description below, along with a playlist of all the past compilation videos I've done on my channel. But yeah, let's just get right into the video, shall we? A few days ago, when I hit 500 subscribers, I asked you guys to send me your questions. It could be as many questions as you had, and stuff like that. I got a good amount of questions, 2 of which from my family, because I asked them to, but also from other people, viewers, that I appreciate you guys. If you didn't leave a question, well, that's okay. Well, if you leave a question here, I will probably answer it, but not in a video, just like in the comments. So yeah, if you want to still ask me a question, I can answer it in the comments, but I'm going to be responding to the ones that I did get. I just want to say again, thank you very, very much for 500 subscribers. We are now at 515 as of the time of making this video. And I just want to say thank you so much, guys. It really does mean the world to me. It's not a big milestone, sure. It's not like 1,000 subscribers or, 100,000, stuff. But this is a start, and it's very exciting for me that you guys want to see and hear me talk about stuff or play games, or you just want to see me. I don't know. I'm just so happy, guys. It really means the world to me that 500 plus of you are interested enough in what I have to say. And yeah, I really do mean that. Thank you so much. So much so that I'm gonna go full-time on YouTube. Eventually I'm gonna start college. I don't know when or how, but I'm gonna be focusing still on YouTube. I'm not gonna do a job. I was gonna do a job and YouTube at the same time, but I think it's better to just focus on YouTube with college as well. So yeah, but anyway, that's enough talking. Let's just get right into the questions. I'll try to put the comments of the questions I got on the screen here, So yeah, let's just get right into it. So one of the first questions I got was from Sam Fazio, who is a viewer of the channel. He asked me, what are my favorite games and movies? So some of my favorite games are the Xenoblade games. I mean, I've talked about them a whole bunch. I think the Xenoblade trilogy is fantastic. They're like masterpieces in my opinion. But even then, the other Xenoblade things like Xenoblade X or the Xenoblade Torna or Future Connected or Future Redeemed, they all have their issues, or they are all good but they are good in their own right. So I just love the Xenoblade series as a whole. But before that, and still to this day, I think Mario Maker 2 is probably one of my favorite games of all time. Like, I just love, well, first, I loved Mario Maker 1 a lot because it's just so amazing that you can make your own levels and like how creative it is. And in Mario Maker 2, they really expanded upon the levels. Like, it's you could make even more different types of levels. Like, they improved everything about Mario Maker 1. Some people don't like that they got rid of the amiibo costumes or 100 endless challenge or whatever. I'm honestly fine with that. Honestly, the amiibo costumes I didn't like really because they gave us too many Super Mario Bros. 1 levels, but I'm happy that we still do have remnants of that, like with the Link power-up, with the SMB2 mushroom power-up, So we still have elements of the amiibo costumes, but they're way better. I wish the game got updated more, but still, I love Mario Maker 2 a lot. I also love Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I think, I don't know. I think Breath of the Wild meant a lot more to me. I think Tears of the Kingdom is a better game, but I feel like Breath of the Wild is still like a magical experience, and I think that, at the very least, along with Tears of the Kingdom, is, again, another one of my favorite games of all time. But yeah, so, and then of course Mario Galaxy, I grew up with that game. It was one of my first ever games I've played. I didn't beat it. I got stuck in like the first world, but I'm very nostalgic about the game, and when I finally went back to it a few years ago, I love Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy 2 is great too, but Mario Galaxy 1 just, I love the story in that game. It's just so nostalgic. The music is amazing. So probably my favorite games of all time are the Xenoblade games, like all of them. Mario Maker 2, Mario Galaxy, and then Breath of the Wild, and maybe Tears of the Kingdom. Again, I think Tears of the Kingdom is the better game, but again, a soft spot for Breath of the Wild. It really got me into Zelda, and it actually got me into playing other games that are not just Mario, you know. It got me into, of course, Zelda, but of course, things like Mega Man, Xenoblade, you know. So thanks to Breath of the Wild, it really opened my eyes. It expanded my horizons, you know. So yeah, cannot understate that. And yeah, favorite movies. I haven't seen a lot of movies, honestly. Like, especially nowadays, I don't really watch that many movies. Like with recent movies, I just look up reviews or people talking about it, and I understand the plot of them. But some of my favorite movies are probably the Santa Claus movies, you know, Tim Allen. I love watching those every Christmas. They're just so magical, so amazing. Some people don't like specifically number 2 and number 3. I like them both, but most people like the first one. And honestly, I really do like the first one, but I kind of like have a softer spot for like the second and third ones. But I love watching those every Christmas, you know. Great movies. The Lego movie is also fantastic. I remember watching that first in school. And that was amazing. The Lego Ninjago movie is also pretty good too. People don't like it because it's not connected to the Ninjago TV show. But if you appreciate it on its own, it's actually pretty good. Not perfect by any means, but still pretty good. I've watched the classic Spider-Man trilogy, the Sam Raimi ones, and I thought Spider-Man 2 was, of course, great. I love that. Like, I love the emotion behind it. I watched Iron Man. I know everything about the habits in all the Marvel movies, but that Iron Man was the only one I fully watched, like sat down, while the other ones I just kind of heard about online, and I know everything that happens in them. But yeah, I don't really have any favorite movies really besides the Santa Claus movies. I love watching those every Christmas. The Lego movie is fantastic. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm forgetting some other movies, but just right now, those are the only ones I can think of. Again, I don't really watch that many movies. The most I watch of movies is that I listen to people talk about them and describe the plot of them. So in a way, I feel like I have watched them, but again, there's only been a few movies I've actually sat down and watched. Isaac, or otherwise known as Seth, I don't know. But he's Isaac. He's my friend from school. So shout outs to you, man. He commented, "Why you always got something goofy in the TV in the background?" Let's see, what's in the TV right now? SpongeBob. Yeah. Why do I have that? Honestly, it's just because of the fact that I know he didn't mean this in a super serious way. It was kind of a joke, but the thing is, I don't really watch the TV that often. I like having the TV on for background noise. I don't really actively watch it that often. I look at it, some things here and there. Like, in fact, when I had the TV on for like Craig of the Creek and Amphibia, I actually sat down and watched those shows and I really liked them. But most of the time, I just have the TV on with something I'm familiar with like SpongeBob or Henry Danger, which Henry Danger, people don't like Henry Danger, but I like it. I like it because it doesn't take itself too seriously most of the time, and it just has fun with itself. But also, it can be serious when it needs to be, and like the actors behind it, I loved. Like when it first started on, like Henry Danger, it wasn't that amazing. It was fine, but as the cast got older, they actually became involved with the writing process of the series, and you could clearly tell, like, they loved making the show, hanging out with each other, and that clearly shows in the series, you know. So I really appreciate Henry Danger for that. I don't really actively watch it anymore, but I like having it in the background because that's the thing that reruns like very often. If it's not that, I have it in like Disney Channel. Cartoon Network barely has any stuff besides Craig of the Creek that I like anymore. I used to be a big Cartoon Network guy. of course, with Regular Soul, Adventure Time, Steven Universe, you know. But yeah, it's either Disney or Nickelodeon I have stuff on. So yeah, it's just because I like background noise. I like to just, when I'm making videos or playing games, I like to have the TV on in the background or whatever. Just, yeah, it's just how I do things. And here we got a question from IC, who has been one of my longest time viewers ever. So shout outs to you, IC. Really do appreciate it. He asked me a few questions here. So first question is, what's my favorite color? My favorite color is black. I mean, I'm wearing a black shirt. I wear this like in every video, almost every single thing I post on this channel, besides like one YouTube short where I was wearing a red shirt. But like basically that, I'm wearing black. Most of my room is darker colors, but it's black primarily. I just love black. My brother thinks it's really, he finds it annoying that me and my mom both like black. Also my dad used to like black a lot. He had black clothes. He dressed up like a black cowboy, you know. My brother thinks it's like, oh, we're goth or something. He likes red, you know. My mom also likes red too, but yeah, our favorite color is black, and I just prefer black. It just, yeah, it's not great, especially when it's like summertime, because when you wear black clothes in the summer, you get even hotter than if you weren't wearing black clothes. But I still love it. But yeah, why did you start my YouTube channel? Why did I start my YouTube channel? Well, let me give you a bit of a story. I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for years. At first, I wanted to do something similar to Matthew Santoro, who still is around on the YouTube scene, but he mostly does Twitch stuff. I don't watch him anymore because multiple reasons. But he was, back then, he was a very inspirational person to me, because he made top 10 videos, but I mostly gravitated towards his vlog channel, and I really wanted to do something like vlogs, like do opening mail, just talking about my day, going around doing stuff, you know. I was also kind of gravitated towards the Josh Speaks, which I do still watch to this day. He talks about you know, life advice, like how to get relationships, you know, stuff like that. But he's not like a, you know, alpha male, you know. But he's actually a genuine nice guy. And he just tries his best, not just for dating advice, but like just to make you be a better person, you know. So I still watch him. He's still cool, but I got inspired. Like, I wanted to talk about my life stories, you know. And I do actually want to plan to do that soon. I want to talk about some of my life stories. Like, I have a funny story regarding how I changed the rules of my elementary school forever. And you could see that because my brother, who went to the same elementary school, they followed the rules that I caused. I will get into that later on, but I do have a video plan for that. So I do want to cover more of that. But yeah, but then it started to change initially, and then after that I was like, oh, maybe I'll do animation, because I was big into like Jaded Animations, The Odd Ones Out, Domix. I don't watch any of those guys anymore. But I was kind of thinking, okay, I'll combine that with like my life stories, you know. And then finally we came to more recently where I wanted to do something with games, because games have always, for the most part, like for most of my life, like since I was like 7, 6, they've been a big part of my life. They're my special interest, which again, if you don't know, they're basically a highly focused interest that autistic people have. Kind of like an extreme hobby, I guess. I don't know, but I wanted to do game stuff because I love games, and I want to share things with like the world, you know. Like, I started imagining myself recording like reactions to different things. Like, I still hate that I wish I recorded the Xenoblade 3 reveal and the Tears of the Kingdom, when it was called Breath of the Wild 2 reveal, because I was mind blown when those happened. I was screaming like crazy. I wish I recorded that. But yeah, then I came up with the YouTube channel name like a year before I even started the channel, which was Autistic Gaming, because that's when, around a year before I started the channel, that's when I found out I was autistic, which I think there's another question. Yeah, he asked another question, so I'll get into that in a little bit. But I came up with Autistic Gaming because, again, it fits with autism. I'm autistic. It is a big part of me, even though I didn't know it was a big part of me until way later in life. It is a part of me, and gaming, I just love gaming. So I came up with the channel name a year before I even started making stuff, and I did always plan to start making a YouTube channel at some point. I didn't think it would be super soon. I thought it would maybe be during when I would be starting college, but of course I dropped out of school, and then so I started the YouTube channel. Well, actually, I didn't technically drop out till a little bit after I started my YouTube channel, but you get the point, you know. I was kind of avoiding school because it was too hard. Lots of stress-inducing things involving teachers not accepting accommodations I had. Like, there's multiple different things, but yeah. Basically, I just wanted to start a YouTube channel to talk about my life experiences, or share things I've been interested in. Yeah. And he also asked, where did I get diagnosed with autism? So here's the full story. In 2020, you know, it was a rough year, right? For many people, but I actually love 2020. I love just being at my house. I love doing school online. Like, that was the most happiest time I've had in school ever. But during that time, when it was near the end of the school time, and then they told us we were going to be going to physical schools again, I was really sad. Like, I was hoping so bad that they would change it, or at the very least that they will give us an option to do online stuff, and that never happened. You could technically do online stuff if you had COVID. If you went to the physical school and you had COVID, you could do some online classes there. But that was only temporarily, you know, and I don't want to force myself to get COVID, you know. Yeah, so I was really disheartened by that. But I was always wondering, like, why do I feel this way? Like, why do I feel happy while everyone else in the world feels, you know, bad about this? So then, some time went by. I watched some YouTube videos by, specifically the first YouTube video that got me interested in the idea of autism, like, oh, am I different, was by Toon Ruins. The person that runs the channel is named Leah. She is autistic along with having ADHD. And she made a video here. Let me find it. I will probably pop it up in the screen like I have been doing for the comments, or at least trying to. So her video was called Special Interests and Hyperfixations. It came out 2 years ago, 2021. So yeah, that was around the time I watched it. I unsubscribed to her, so I saw it like when it came out. And then by that point, they already told us that we were gonna be going back to physical schools for the next year. So yeah, that got me interested in autism because I related to a lot about what she was talking about in the video. Then I watched a lot of other autistic channels. Like, at the time they were called Asperger's from the Inside. Now they're called Autism from the Inside. I don't watch him anymore, but he was still a really good channel and a good guy that talked about autism, his experiences. I also saw many other YouTubers, Indie Andy, which sadly passed away, I believe on Christmas, so sad. He was like really young too, like 25 or something, really young, 20 something, but yeah, he passed away. But I watched him again. There was also a lady called Yosemite Sam, which is, you know, kind of a reference to the Looney Tunes thing, but she's also autistic. I don't watch her anymore, but I did relate to a lot of what she said as well. So yeah, I watched all these videos and it made me think that I am autistic because I relate so much to all these things, because I've always felt weird. I've always felt different from everyone else, you know. But I didn't say anything yet to my mom because she's very supportive. I love my mom, but I was still nervous of how she would react. But eventually I did tell her, but it was like in June. So February, March, April, May, June. So that was like 5 months. Like I was researching for like a whole month. So it was actually more like 4 months that I waited to tell her, because I was like nervous to say anything. Eventually I did tell her and she accepted. She was kind of shocked, and honestly to this day she blames herself for not knowing that I was autistic, because there's many things that happen in our lives that like where she was like trying to push me out of my comfort zone and I didn't like that, or I couldn't speak to many people besides her, and like she didn't understand, you know. So she feels like she blames herself for not getting diagnosed sooner. But yeah, so that happened. We made an appointment to get diagnosed. Sadly, I don't know why, but the appointment it didn't take as long as some of the other people. Like I believe for many other people it takes like sometimes even years, but at least a few months for them to get seen by someone to get diagnosed. For me, it only took like 2 months, and what the sad part is that it happened within the week of when I went back to school for the 11th grade. So I went back to school for 2 days. I was for the first day I was in school, and then that same day I broke my leg. Yes, I did. Like I twisted it because of the stairs or something, and like I couldn't walk that well. Like I was like limping everywhere I went, so I didn't go to school the next day. And then on Wednesday was like the day that I had to go to the autism diagnosis thing, and my leg still hurt, but I managed to go through, and yeah. And the examination wasn't even that bad. It only took like 2 hours for me, and then my mom was doing paperwork from like answering questions or whatever. Afterwards, we had to wait like about 2 weeks, and then they told me that I was autistic. So that was way faster than I was expecting. I thought it was going to take months. I've even heard some people say, again, years, but it didn't actually take that much, you know. It only took 2 months to wait, and then like 2 weeks after we went there to get diagnosed. But yeah, so that's my story. I was like diagnosed at 16. So yeah, I tried to get accommodations in 11th grade. It didn't work well. Then I tried again at the beginning of 12th grade. Stuff started to progress, but then some teachers didn't want to accept the accommodations, or some counselors were like, oh, you're not autistic enough to get even more accommodations, you know. So yeah, that's just, and then like multiple stressful things happened in school. But yeah, that's basically how the story of how I got diagnosed. Do you have any pets? If so, can we see a picture? Yes, I do have pets. If you've seen my live streams, you would know that very often my bird is making big noise, big noise, along with the rest of my family, my brother, my mom. But it's most often my bird, and his name is Paquito. I'm going to show you some pictures of him now. And yeah, he's a really cute bird. I like him a lot. I actually wasn't too happy to receive him at first because he was actually my uncle's girlfriend's bird, but my uncle and his girlfriend couldn't take care of him because of like of where the girlfriend lives or whatever. So they were gonna get rid of him, but then like my uncle told my mom, and then like my mom wanted to get him because why the heck not? My mom likes animals. She used to have many different animals: cats, dogs, birds, guinea pigs, you know, like hamsters. Like she had many different types of animals, but I've always been like hesitant with animals because most of the time they don't last that long for me. They only last like a few months at most, but sometimes even weeks, and then they die. So I was really hesitant to get a bird, but so far our bird Paquito is really cool. Very loud, very noisy, but that means she's part of the family. But yeah, I was hesitant because most of the animals die really soon. But it's been like how many months? Like 4 months. Like it's been like a couple months, and he's still Paquito's still okay. He's still good. You know, more feistier now, but yeah, I like him a lot. And lastly, from Icy, where did you get the name Choppers from? It reminds me of a Skylander called the same thing. Skylander. You mean like the ones from like those Toys to Life things? I didn't know that. But anyway, my nickname from Choppers, I got it from my dad. Now, I've tried to ask my mom about why I got the nickname Choppers. She doesn't really know. My dad just started calling me that. It is mostly, he compared it to like airplanes, like the airplanes or the bikes, you know, to get to the chopper, or you know, stuff like that. But yeah, my dad called me Choppers, so much so that I actually think I prefer that name than my actual name, which is Joe. My dad, his name was Jose, but people called him Joe. So maybe that's another reason why he chose Choppers, you know, because before I got that nickname, people called me Little Joe, you know, specifically my grandma, but eventually I got Choppers, and then as that name, and I prefer it, honestly. I like it, but I'm not gonna change my first name because to honor my dad, you know. But Choppers is the one that I really do like. My mom calls me dad, my brother, even the person that I get a haircut from calls me Choppers. So my grandma, you know, like everyone that I know, like family members or whatever, accept me as Choppers, and I see myself as that. And it's all thanks to my dad, really. In school, I was called Joe, and I honestly didn't like it. It's the most... I don't really like Joe because... like the name, because of the fact that, well, one, there's always multiple people named Joe, and then sometimes you're like, are you talking to me or are you talking to another guy? Especially in elementary school, there was a guy named Joel who actually didn't have an arm, but some people would just call him Joel or Joe. So it's like who are you talking to? Like, oh my god. So yeah, I prefer being called Choppers, and that's why I decided for you guys, if you talk to me, well, either call me Autistic Gaming or Choppers, you know. But yeah, I got it from my dad. I forgot to answer this. I actually might edit this part and put it back in the IC section of the Q&A. He asked me, because every time he sees this like Q&A video, what color is my toothbrush? It's technically white, but it has like a wrap around it, where it's a Yossi brush, you know, like it has Yossi on it, green and yellow background, you know, so like it's like a plastic thing. It's a mechanical toothbrush, but yeah, like it's just like wrapped around a white toothbrush, but it's Yossi themed, so yeah. Now here we got a question from Dermic Cap, who asks, where do I see this channel in 5 years? That one is a tough one, but I do expect that I will still be making YouTube videos. I see that I think by then we will for sure hit 1,000 subscribers. Maybe even a little bit more. I don't know how much though. Like maybe it's a bit too optimistic, but maybe like 10,000 subscribers, you know, maybe that's a little too optimistic, but I still think we will at least be monetized by then. I will be making some form of money, and YouTube will always be a big part of me, I think. I will still be doing YouTube. By then I would be probably done with college, maybe looking for a job by then. If not, then maybe going full on in on YouTube, but yeah, I see us making at least some form of money, and doing bigger and better things on the channel. Like maybe, like I've thought about doing some video essays. Maybe we could do that, or maybe I'll have a capture card by then, you know. But yeah, I think that's where I see my channel in 5 years. Now we do got some other questions here, not too many though. So from another viewer of the channel, Salva Corios. Again, I've tried my best with these names to pronounce them, but he asked, what's my favorite book series? Well, he has multiple questions. Favorite book series? I don't read a lot of books at all, but I am way bigger to books than other people, surprisingly. I don't know if I would say a favorite book series, but if I had to say a de facto book series, I guess the Dork Diaries, which is a kind of like a spin on the Diary of a Wimpy Kid stuff, but like from a girl's perspective. I've always been fascinated more with that book series. I've only have one book in the series though, but I really liked it. But I don't really, I guess I'm just gonna answer more so what are my favorite books, because I don't really have a favorite book series. So yeah, that one was pretty good. I also love the Red and Link book. Red and Link they do Good Mythical Morning. I don't really watch them anymore, but they're still cool guys. They were another inspiration for me starting YouTube. I wanted to like make songs or stuff like that, and I'm kind of doing that now with vocal covers. But they made a book. I really liked it. It gave us insight into them as a people, you know, and stuff like that. It was a really good book. But probably my favorite book of all time is the Dear Evan Hansen book. That book is fantastic. That was the most recent thing I've read, which was back in 11th grade, you know. And like, I just related a lot to it because while Evan doesn't have like autism, you could see him as being like a headcanon for that, but he has suffered from like anxiety and stuff like that, and I just love the book. I love them songs in the musical. I haven't seen the movie yet. Some people I've heard don't like the movie, you know, but I love the songs in it, and I love the book. It's so amazing. Probably like one of my favorite books of all time that I've read. Yeah. What's my favorite TV series? Here we go. Now, I've actually seen a couple of TV shows. So, the first ones to come to mind are Steven Universe, and Avatar The Last Airbender, and like anything that involves those properties, you know. So like Steven Universe Future, or also for the movie question, I guess Steven Universe the movie would count as one of my favorite movies, I guess. But in the Avatar's case, The Legend of Korra, those are the first ones that I think of. Honestly, as a pure objective fact, I think the Avatar series is amazing, probably like a masterpiece even. There's just so much good about it. The world building, the storytelling, the characters, like there's so much good about it. With Steven Universe, I really did love. People hate on it too much now these days. In fact, hot take, I actually kind of prefer Steven Universe Future because it gave me a lot of insight. It related to how I was feeling at the time, because when it came out, I was about Steven's age. I was slightly younger than him. He was 16 in the series. At the end of it, he's 17. I was like 14, 15, you know, but I was close to his age. So yeah, I related to Steven a whole lot in Steven Universe Future, but also in the Steven Universe as a whole. It has issues for sure, too many towny episodes and stuff like that, but overall, I just think it's a great series, but I think Avatar is better. Of course, I love other shows. Amphibia's good. Owl House was a big thing for me. I loved Owl House. It means the world to me. Gravity Falls is amazing. There's so many other good shows that I cannot list. Some that I kind of mentioned before, like Henry Danger, which I do appreciate a lot. But overall, I think objectively, Avatar The Last Airbender and even Legend of Korra, which has issues, are the masterpieces. But I love like lots of other shows as well, like the ones I listed. Also regular show, Adventure Time, you know, there's just too many good shows to list. But yeah, Phineas and Ferb, I'm like, okay, I'll stop it. But I think the Avatar series is the most masterpiece level one. But again, I love a whole bunch of them. What's one of my favorite movie series? I guess one of my favorite movie series, I guess, would be either the Marvel series or Spider-Man. I say Marvel, be it like, really, again, I haven't really watched Marvel, like MCU stuff. I just know lots of things that happen in them. Some of my friends were into Marvel. I kept up with Marvel like every time. But I guess from that experience, but from what I've actually seen, the Spider-Man movies are really good. Like all of them. Like I've also seen the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and I know a lot about the MCU Spider-Man stuff. Like some of them are better than others, and I have seen Into the Spider-Verse, and I know everything that happens into Across the Spider-Verse, so probably Spider-Man or the Marvel movies in general, but again, don't really watch that much movies. That's one of my favorite anime series. Big Soccer, I don't watch a lot of anime. In fact, the only anime I've seen, kind of, sort of, is I've seen the first season of My Hero Academia, and that's it. That's it. If you want to count Avatar, which isn't an anime, but it has anime style, then you could say Avatar, or Teen Titans, which is anime inspired. But as a pure anime, the only one I've seen is My Hero Academia Season 1, and I really enjoyed that. But yeah, sorry. So these are the last two questions, I believe. Actually, I have one more question that's like kind of not related to the Q&A, but it's still a question I get frequently, so I'm gonna answer that after. But here are some questions from my mom and brother. Now, with my mom and brother, I told them to ask some questions because I wanted more, although seeing by how long this video is, maybe I shouldn't have asked them. But there's still some good questions here. Let's start with my brother. He asked me, when will I start making money from this job? Well, soon. I'm like a little bit over 2,000 watch time hours, and you need 3,000 watch time hours to get to, well, they changed the rules recently for YouTube so that you could get channel memberships and super chats at 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. So I'm close to getting that goal, but when I hit 1,000 subscribers and then 4,000 watch hours, then that's when I get full monetization. I can make money from videos. It won't be that much. Like, I've seen some people make like $15 or $60 per month when they're first starting out, but that's at least something, you know. So soon I will start making money once I hit 3,000 watch hours, really soon, and then eventually more so when I hit 1,000 subscribers. How much money have you made so far on your channel? 0, because I don't make any money so far. Rocky. That's his name, by the way. I mentioned him before. He's also been in a live stream before. I do plan for him to be in a discussion video as well, along with another live stream. But and then at first I didn't understand this question, so I asked him directly what he meant by this. When will I get out of my flop era? Now, if you don't know what that means either, basically it means where there's not that much success right now in your life, or in this case, my YouTube channel. I never heard of that term before. Yeah, so that's what it means. Typically it's used for Twitter, I believe, or something. But yeah. When will I get out of it? Once I get 3,000 watch hours, probably, because that's when I'll start to feel really successful. Like, hey, at least I'm making some sort of money in terms of like channel memberships for like the 1 or 2 people that are interested in those, which I do have those planned out already. They're gonna be real cheap, for like 99 cents per month, and then of course super chats, you know. But yeah, probably then that's when I'll get out of my flop era, but truly it will be when I hit 1,000 subscribers. And now we got some from my mom. Now, one of these I did tell her to ask, like I directly told her to ask, but the other one she did think of on her own. So yeah. What is the hardest part of making my videos? Well, probably the hardest part is just finding motivation to do them. Not that I'm not motivated, but it's just that a lot of the times I feel tired or exhausted, or I should take a break or something. So it's just kind of hard to like get going and start making videos, whether it be the discussion videos or gameplay videos. I need to find the right time for them as well. But yeah, probably just starting motivation to actually start doing it. What is the most enjoyable type of videos that I make? Honestly, that's a really hard one. Out of all my video types, I really like the discussion videos, the gameplay videos, and the vocal covers. I know that not many people like the vocal covers. Some people think they're cringe or whatever. But I like making them. Like, I've always wanted to make songs or sing songs, and like it's really cool to finally do that. And like it was my first video project that took like more effort than just talking on the camera or just playing the game, you know. So probably vocal covers for the pure editing, but discussing videos are fun for the topics, and gameplay videos, I just like playing games, you know, so probably those three are my favorite. The Switch/game clips, I switched the name because before they were called Switch clips, but now they're going to be game clips because of the fact that I have a PS5 now and I could record gameplay stuff from that. But anyway, those are just easy content to make. I don't really care about them that much. It's just there for when I need a video to be put out there and I don't feel like making a video, you know, and most of the time they do fine. Sometimes they even take off. So yeah, they're just easy stuff, so I don't really like making those, but hey, easy content, right? And then the YouTube shorts, I don't like YouTube shorts. I make them, they take effort. I like making fun facts like for Splatoon and Xenoblade, but honestly I don't really like watching YouTube shorts or even the process of making them. I just do it for to get more attention for the channel, you know. Live streams I love doing, you know, but I don't think that's a count as a video thing that I do. And yeah, autism stuff will always be a fan for me. I like doing dedicated autism stuff, but probably my favorite ones are, again, discussion videos, gameplay videos, and the vocal covers are probably my favorite one. And then this is the one that that I told her to ask was, how many pets have I had in my life? Because she clearly knows how many pets I've had in my life. I just wanted to answer this for you guys. I've had, well, let's see. I've had a couple dogs. I've had a lot of wolves, actually. My dad used to have a lot of wolves. In fact, when I was like a baby, you know, like I was like 5, 4, we had wolves. One of them was named Angel. Yeah, they were really nice wolves, you know. They were full wolves, by the way. They're not like half breeds, they were full wolves. But my dad lied and said, oh no, they're half breeds. Yeah, they're like part wolf, part dog. No, they were full wolves, and I was near them. So yeah, those were cool. I've also had a guinea pig, 2 guinea pigs before, but I'm allergic to guinea pigs. One was like only for like an hour, and then I kept another one a little bit later on for like a few days. Still allergic. I tried to get better, but yeah. Of course, now I have Paquito, a bird. We have also had some fish before. One of the fish we named Uncle Joe, which, by the way, Uncle Joe was he's of course my uncle, but he's the person that gave us the bird, Paquito. Yes, there's many people in my family named Joe, which is another reason why I like being called choppers. But yeah, so we called a fish named Uncle Joe because my mom was like, oh, because he stinks, you know. Like, it was just a funny thing, but we call him that. I've had other fish too, but yeah, there's like a lot of pets that we have, but I think it's just too many to count, and honestly most of them just die really early on, so I just feel bad, and I don't like having animals really. But I would love to have one day have a cat, just because of the fact that they take care of themselves and they seem like they are autistic, you know. They're not, I don't think they're technically autistic, but like they have many traits that seem like autism, you know. So yeah, I would love to have a cat one day, but yeah. Now here's a question that's like technically not part of someone asked me a question, but it wasn't technically related to the Q&A, but I'm still gonna answer it. This is from DJ iTubes, who has been commenting on a few videos and is a channel viewer. So I thank you, but he kind of criticizes me a lot. But I still appreciate you. But yeah, he asked me, well, he left a comment about directly capture for the PS5 gameplay, but he asked me, have you looked into getting an Elgato or a Ever Media capture card? I don't know if I said that word correctly. Now here's the thing about a capture card. I have explained this before, but basically with a capture card I figured out that one, I would rather just have a capture card that like just plugs into the TV and just takes the footage directly off it, you know. But those capture cards are real expensive, And the ones that are way more common is the ones that where you hook up the thing to a monitor, like a computer, and then you play really close to the monitor. But I don't have that kind of setup. My TV is super far away. I like relaxing on the couch to play games and making videos, you know. I prefer that. I don't want to be all scrunched up on a chair near a monitor on my face, you know. And like, I would need like a really long wire or something to do that. But plus it's like this, it would just make a whole big mess. But also the fact is that I don't have that good of a computer. I have a laptop technically, but it's my mom's, and my brother has one too. Well, he has two that he has. One that he got from school, and one that I use to make some videos, like browsing videos. But those laptops are not that good. They're either really old or really laggy, so it just wouldn't be good. So maybe one day we will get a capture card, but for now, I think it's just best to do the things that we've been doing now. I will try my best to improve the quality for videos going forward. But yeah, so no capture card in the immediate future, but sometime soon, I promise. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Again, I want to say thank you so much for 500 subscribers. It really does mean the world to me. I couldn't have done this without you. I really can't. I'm happy to be doing this, and I hope for my channel to grow in the future, because yeah, I really like doing this and I want to share more of what I do with you guys. Yeah, thanks again so much. It means the world to me. I asked you guys for a few questions, and now I'm going to answer those questions. We didn't get as much as I was expecting. Sort of disappointing you guys. Oh, I don't like you anymore. Just kidding. But so this video might be not that long compared to the last Q&A video I did for 500 subscribers. That was like 40 minutes long. But I guess you never know, you know. I could talk a lot about the questions in depth. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But yeah, so I took a screenshot of all the questions I got. And in fact, I'm going to be putting the questions like right next to me, or however I did it in the last Q&A video, which by the way, that will be in the description below, along with the first part of the 1000 subscriber special series or whatever. That will all be in the description. But yeah, I'm gonna be showing the comments on the side with me. So first up from Fizzy, no particular order. I'm going through these comments, you know, I'm going by them in the order that I have the pictures in. But from Fizzy, they asked me, what's my favorite step in the video making process, and what is my least favorite step in the video making process? This is a good question, and it kind of depends on what video type you're talking about. But I guess in general, honestly, my least favorite part would probably have to just be the editing. I have gotten better at editing stuff, but it is just kind of annoying to have to cut out when I don't say anything for an extended period of time. Or I cut out a lot of stuff in the last video that you guys saw, the news roundup. I was like, for some reason, I guess because I barely woke up, I was having trouble talking, so I had to cough like like that. So I had to edit that out, and I had to go through individual parts, you know. I kind of go fast, like, oh, let me stop here for a few seconds, then go for a few seconds, you know. Like, I don't watch the full video, but I tried to skim it the best I could, so I catch all the mistakes. So that's probably the most annoying part that I dislike. What I like most, though, it's basically anything else, like doing the actual video, recording it, though it can be a bit stressful sometimes, you know, especially if it's a longer video I plan to do. It can be a little bit hard to be like, okay, I have to sit down here, you know, and not that hard, I'm in my bed, but like it still feels weird, like, oh, okay, I gotta talk a lot and sit up so I can explain something in the video. But it's pretty fun for the most part. But probably the best part of making videos is just the thumbnails. I really like making the thumbnails. They require editing, I guess, and they have some... I mean, it doesn't take that much work. Sometimes you get issues where if I'm taking like, if I have a thumbnail with my face on it, I try to do a good pose, but then sometimes the background messes up with like my hair or like my body, so and like I can't cut it with like Adobe, so I have to retake the thumbnail and try to reposition myself so it blocks the things in the background. But overall, it is pretty fun, and I really like making the thumbnails. I think I've made some good thumbnails, you know, with choosing the right background picture, the text, you know, my face. I really do like that stuff, even though, again, they all have some problems here and there. But I guess that's to say that videos in general, they all have their ups and downs, you know. Like, I don't like editing that much, but at the same time, I don't mind it really for the most part, unless it's like a really long video. And the thumbnails, again, there's like some downsides here and there, so I guess each thing that I like or dislike has their ups and downs, you know, individually. So thanks, Fizzy, long-time viewer of the channel. They asked me this only 2 days ago when I took the screenshot, so nice, good job, man. And next up, we got a question from my mom, which this time I saw like one person or two people complaining last time in the Q&A video for 500 subscribers about my family asking questions, especially with my mom. I told her, I gave her a general rundown of like, oh, you could ask me like this or this. This time I didn't, I swear. I just told them to ask questions, but I didn't tell them like what to write or like give them any ideas really. So hope you guys are not too mad with me. But anyway, my mom, first of all, she says congratulations, you know, and then she says, do you plan to have more pet birds or bird pets? Weird way of saying that. But anyway, no. I don't really know why my mom asked me this question. I guess because she knows I love our bird, Paquito, that's his name. He's really, I mean, he's kind of annoying, he's very loud, but I love him a lot. He's adorable. And at first I didn't want him. My mom was the one who wanted to take him in because my uncle and his like girlfriend, they had trouble with the bird, where the bird was like, but at the time he was called some other name, Pickle, that was his name before. But anyway, he, in fact we call him he, we don't know his gender actually. But anyway, he was living with my uncle's girlfriend, and the apartment eventually said no, he can't live there anymore because of no animals in the building. And then my uncle didn't want to take it, so he called my mom, and then there you go. And I was against it because I just have a bad habit with animals where I get really too attached to them. In fact, I have gotten attached to, you know, my current bird, Paquito, but I've gotten way too attached to him, and sometimes they die way too soon, and that really hurts me, and it sucks, you know. But I have to realize that, you know, even if they die relatively quickly, you know, you at least gave them a lot of love, you know, with the little time you did have with them. And Paquito, he's been around for almost a year now, I think, like with us, and he's already was like a few months old by the time we got him. He was like a baby, but like, so yeah, I think he's in good hands here. He is a bit annoying to have to clean up every time he like messes up his water, but I love him a lot. But that doesn't mean I want more birds, because I have dreams where I had more birds, you know, but it will just be too much stress for me, my mom, you know, the family. So yeah, I love him, but we're probably gonna stick with him. Maybe we could get another pet though. I kind of wanna think about a cat, you know, but like, I don't think we'll get other birds. But next up, we got two comments from Caroline. So first of all, they asked me how long have I wanted to do YouTube, and then do I have a pet, which the second comment is a joke, because with Caroline, another longtime viewer of the channel, they for the longest time did not know I had a pet bird, even though I talk about him a lot in especially my live streams, how I say, oh, don't mind the background, it's just my bird, or you hear him screaming in videos, you know, like you can hear him, or I talk about him a lot. And for the longest time, he did not know that until I posted, I think it was until I posted a picture. No, it was before that. I actually told him, and then like a little bit after I posted a picture of my bird, and then he was still like, what bird? I don't see anything, you know, as a joke. So yeah, I do have a pet, being Paquito, the bird. And I've had pets before, you know, dogs, but they usually died pretty quickly, which was sad. We also had wolves, which are technically illegal here, but my dad said that they were like a mixed breed of a wolf and a dog, but nope, they were just pure wolves. And I grew up with them when I was like really young, and I have pictures of it. Oh my god. But anyway, so yeah, there's the pet question. It's just a joke. But the other one is more serious, from Caroline. I've wanted to do YouTube for quite a while, actually. I think I touched on this a little bit in the last Q&A video for 500 subscribers, but I have wanted to make a YouTube channel for almost ever, really. Since I want to say maybe around 5th grade, that's when I started thinking like, oh, it would be kind of cool, because that's around the time I started watching YouTubers like the Josh Speaks, who gave advice on, you know, having friends or talking to girls or whatever, but he shared life stories, and I thought I could do that. And that was also around the time I was watching Matthew Santoro, who is a classic YouTuber who still does stuff now on YouTube, but he's mostly doing stuff on like Twitch or whatever. But I loved his videos, you know, his vlogs especially. I liked his main channel, but I really loved his vlogs. I love his Mail with Mats, his even Q&A videos, and it just sucks that his second channel got deleted and there's no record of like most of the videos. There's only like 2 videos out there from other channels that were saved from that channel, from his vlog channel, but it sucks. But anyway, because of him and like many other YouTubers, I was like, oh, it would be cool for me to talk about my life stories, you know, because I had a lot to share, you know. I lost my dad when I was very young. You know, I've been through heartbreak so many times with many different girls, some friends, you know, that stopped talking to me. Like, I've been through a lot within these past, like, 19 years, which is crazy to think about. But I was thinking, like, yeah, that would be really cool, but I never committed. Mostly because I was a little bit worried about how my mom would feel. Like, my mom is very supportive. Like, she loves me. She's very supportive, but I don't know why. And even until like when I was 16, I was worried about her, like, oh, maybe my mom wouldn't know how to feel if I told her that I think I had autism. This was before I was diagnosed, or I was like 15 about to be 16, but whatever, you know. I was worried, and I don't really know why, because my mom is very supportive, very open. So I don't know what my deal was, but I was just worried like my mom would say no or something, you know. I guess I just have the fear of rejection for anything in life, you know. That's how I am. So I was just worried. But I thought, you know what, eventually I would do it at some point. I've always changed my mind on how I would do it. Like, I was thinking, oh, maybe I could just share stories like the Josh Speaks or even Matthew Santoro, or do vlogs. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I could do gaming stuff. And then I was addicted to watching like animation YouTubers, you know, like the Odd Ones Out, Domix, Jaden Animations, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could do that because I'm a good drawer. I'm not a good animation person. In fact, I don't know really anything, but I know how to draw a lot. But like, I always changed my mind on what I would do, but I've wanted to do this for a while. I guess maybe the earliest would be like maybe 5th grade or something. So how old was I? Like 11? My god, time goes by so fast. It's been a long time coming, but I finally committed to it when I basically was about to drop out of school. Anyway, now we got a question, or like I guess a few questions really, from Paranormal Gaming, who really wanted to ask me questions related to Zelda, and I'm going to attempt to look not to answer this the best I could. I know a bit about Zelda lore, but I honestly don't care too much about it, you know. But I'm gonna attempt to try. You know, some of the stuff I might have heard before, but I promise I did not look up anything right now. So let's see. Why is Ganon evil? Well, Ganon is evil because of the reincarnation with Demise or whatever, and how he's destined to keep coming back. It's like a Gerudo male or whatever. But that doesn't mean all Gerudo males are Ganon or evil. But like I think it's just because of Demise, he is the embodiment of evil or whatever. From what I remember of Skyward Sword, I believe that the evil temptation is always there. But I do think it would be possible for Ganon to be a good guy. In fact, there's been like multiple fan fictions of maybe Ganon is good sometimes, and he still has the Demise's curse, but like he's trying to be good. I think that would be really interesting. Next is, what is gloom? Gloom is it's like the malice or whatever from that Ganon makes. This time it's from Ganondorf, and I think it's a more powerful version, basically a malice. But it's the weird stuff that comes out of, like, he makes. I don't really have any explanation. It's just that's what gloom is. Where did the Sky Islands come from? I think the Sky Islands come from, we literally see where it happens. They were always there. In fact, if you played Skyward Sword, you know there's stuff in the sky. But something happens. There was some sort of barrier, which was talked about in Skyward Sword. But you literally see in Tears of the Kingdom that the clouds open up for the bottom of Hyrule. So it looks like that barrier is now open. So that's why you can see the Sky Islands now. So yeah, we literally see that. So I think the Sky Islands were always there. So yeah. And then where did the depths come from? The depths were also always there. Like, what? The depths were like always there, at least from my opinion. I don't think someone made them themselves, you know. But yeah, I just think they were always there, and there were always people or tribes or something down there. Maybe there was like another way in before, you know, there was like the chasms. Maybe there was some other ways in, like maybe some types of caves that led downwards, but they were blocked off by like the mountains. I don't know, but that's what I think, you know. I'm trying the best to answer this, and I feel like a lot of these questions are kind of obvious, but I don't know the specifics, I guess. So there you go. Paranormal gaming. Next up, we got a few questions from Peepers, who is a person on the channel who's been here for a little bit now, but he asked me a few questions. So first of all, what's it like having 1,000 subscribers? Well, it is crazy. I did not think we would get here this quickly, to be honest. And I know lots of YouTubers or content creators, whatever, say that. But it's true for most of them. They did not think that this would be happening so quickly within like under a year of when I was starting the YouTube stuff. Or like a little over a year, whatever. It was around a year. Usually it takes people longer. But yeah, it was just crazy. And I've already within this first year and like a half of starting YouTube, you know, I met some good people from, again, the people that are subscribed to me, regular viewers, or even some bigger YouTubers like the Sills, Dr. Dawson, who helps run the Sills. Nice people there, and like I've gotten to talk to them, and like it's just crazy to me. And yeah, it's crazy that we hit 1,000 subscribers. It feels kind of unreal, but I hope we continue to grow. Right now, for the past few days, my subscribers are like very stagnant. Like, we stay from 1,000 and then 29 subscribers, and then we fall down 1 or 2, and then we get 2 more. I don't know why it's like stagnant. I would love it to go even 1 more above, so it doesn't stay within that range anymore. But so far I'm happy, so I can't wait to continue growing, you know, and I hope we get full monetization soon, you know. Just watch my stuff, guys, you know. We need to hit like 1,000 more watch hours. Oh, I forgot to answer, I guess, how does it feel to be successful on YouTube? I didn't read the rest of that, but I basically talked about it already. It's crazy. I wasn't expecting this. I thought it would take longer. Yeah. Anyway, what's my top 3 favorite games? Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2, Xenoblade 3. I mean, if I'm being honest, that would probably be it, though. My favorite games, it really does depend, like what am I in the mood for, and what am I thinking about this, like in terms of like nostalgia of like the best games of all time, like I don't know, man. I would probably maybe give you, God. Okay, I know for sure number 1 would probably be the Xenoblade franchise. I can't really pick one. If I did, maybe Xenoblade 1. But, like, I love all of them pretty equally, you know. The next second game would probably be Persona 3 Reload. I love that game a lot, and I want to play more of the Persona series. And probably when I do, I will say, oh no, it's not just Persona 3 Reload. I love all the Persona games. But probably that would be number 2. And then number 3, this one is like really hard because I love a lot of other games, you know. Mario Maker 2 comes to mind. I love that you can play that endlessly. Mario Galaxy is amazing and it's very nostalgic, but it's also very good. I don't know, maybe one of the Mario games, Mario Maker, Mario Galaxy, I don't know, but it's really hard to pick with the what are your favorite games of all time, because I played a lot and I love a lot of them. So yeah, I don't know, but so I guess maybe that, or my original answer, which was Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3. They're my top 3 favorite games of all time. Sorry, X, you missed out, but you're still good. But I don't know how I would rank that, so take that question how you will with how I answered. 3 is, how do I make time to make these daily uploads and live streams? Well, it is a bit hard, I'm gonna be honest. It was starting to become a little bit hard, especially further when I added more channel memberships and Patreon tiers, because I gave the $2.99 tier and above early access to videos a day in advance. But that started to cause me a lot of trouble because like it's just hard to schedule these things, you know, and like add them in playlists earlier and then not have videos for the next day ready, because look, this is what I want to do. Look, I like having videos 2 days in advance just in case something happens in life, like, you know, we need to do something, there's an emergency or whatever. I like having the backups there. But it was just starting to become really hard because I only had like 1 day of backups, you know, and if something happens, you know, like members wouldn't be able to get the videos early, or like there was still a lot of hassle. But once I took that off, I removed it, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to stick to what I've been doing, and it still can be a little bit hard sometimes, like it has been a little bit hard for the past few days, but that's mostly because I've been working on the trying to figure out the multi-streaming thing and the Prism Live Studio app. I was working towards that, but the shorts are pretty easy to make. Sometimes I have stupid ideas and I just make them real quick, you know, like the dabbing on the haters one. But most of them are, you know, random facts, and I talk about how I make the random facts videos in my last subscriber special video. But basically I look up different things on either the trivia page for something I'm thinking about, like a Mario item, or I look through Cutting Room Floor, that website where they have a lot of cut content, and then I back it up, make sure it is actually real, and it takes no more than like 30 minutes, sometimes even less, for me to get that all done, edited, you know, research, and it's just pretty easy to do. The regular videos take a little bit longer depending on, again, what type of video it is. But I know I can always rely on just getting a game clip video out there if I ever need it enough pins. That's what those game clips are. The just easy content for me, because I do want to do daily content, you know, and until I literally can't anymore. Because I have talked about this before, how eventually, at some point within the next year probably, I will be going to college. I'll be starting that up, and I'll have less time to do videos, do live streams, you know. But until then, I'm not going to worry about it, you know. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and then once something happens, you know, with college or whatever, we'll change up the schedule. But for now, it's good. And I like having the daily uploads, because I like having something available every day to you guys. And the live streams are a bonus thing, where if it's a video, if I'm decently caught up in some videos, you know, like 2 days in advance, like fully. Sometimes I have to record a video or something after I do a live stream, but usually I like to get things done before I live stream. I'm like, okay, you know what, I can relax for a little bit, I can stream to you guys, and we can just have fun for like an hour and a half, you know, sometimes longer, you know, but lately it's been like an hour and a half. But yeah, I just find time through really, because I have a lot of free time as well. You know, I don't do much, you know. I'm just here at my house, you know. I eat, I watch videos, but that's really it. So I have a lot of time to make videos, you know. I'll have less time when I go to college, but for now I have the time, you know, for the most part, you know, depending on some things, you know, especially if I'm struggling to deal with something, like struggling to multi-stream, you know, but I was able to figure that out. And lastly, number 4, the most important question that peepers ask: does size matter? No. And you can interpret that any way you want it to, but I think it doesn't, no matter what way you interpret it. Last but not least, we got my brother, who asked me a few questions, just barely, you know. I told him to do this a while ago, and he barely did it. Oh my god, my brother. No, I'm kidding. It's fine, but anyway, so he asked me, do you plan to have any other pets? And I basically answered this question before, how I was like, oh, maybe not other birds, but I wouldn't mind getting myself another, like, cat. You know, I never really had a cat. My family has, you know, like my mom. And my mom even had a parrot before. That's the type of bird my bird is, you know, Paquito. He's a parrot. But anyway, my mom had a parrot before and a cat. But we mostly just had dogs or dog-like animals, like wolves. But I would kind of like a cat, you know? I think that would be kind of fun, because we're very similar. Autistic people and cats, you know, are very similar. So I already basically answered that before. What do you like to do with your money except for buying games? That's basically it. I like to buy games with my money. So before, I had actually had quite a bit of money saved up before I started getting into buying video games. Even at the very beginning of when I started buying video games, I had quite a bit of money saved up, like $300 or whatever. I saved like every money I got from birthday presents or Christmas stuff. You know, I saved money. And before I spent it on video games, you know, this was before like 2017, because around 2017 the Switch came out and I wanted a Switch, but I had to wait. So in the meantime, I used my money to spend on buying like Wii U games, and then eventually I came to buy some Switch games in like 2018. But before that, I rarely used my money except to buy DVDs. I really like buying DVDs. I was basically a collector of DVDs and movies. I loved getting that from my favorite TV shows, favorite movies. But as soon as I started buying games, I kind of stopped doing that, because I thought, and I still do think this, that kind of games are better than movies, you know. You can interact with them in so many more ways, you know. And that's not to say that movies are bad, you know, but they're just a different type of medium, and I think games are way more worth your like $60 or, you know, however much they are now with PlayStation and Xbox. They're more worth that than like the $10 you get for like a single watch through. But that's just me, you know. You could just do a lot more things with games, so I figured that was a better use of my money. But nowadays I just use it basically for game related stuff, you know, like subscription services, other games, you know, or accessories for stuff like a new battery for my Wii U gamepad. Like, that's basically it. So yeah. And last but not least, the final question of the video: what do I think about the Steam Deck console? Well, if you've been following my community post for a little bit, you would know I kind of am crazy, but also that I was thinking about maybe somehow getting a Steam Deck. But I realized that, like, it looks cool, the Steam Deck. I do like how it is. I mean, it's basically a Switch, but like beefier, and it can play like bigger games. But I realize, you know, I don't really need it because I have the other high definition consoles, you know, PS5, the Xbox Series S, and not that high definition, but it is next gen. I do have those types of consoles, and I would rather just save my money for other things, other games. Even the next Switch, the Switch successor that was officially confirmed by Nintendo to be at least announced within the next financial year of March 2025. I would rather save my money for that than get a Steam Deck. Even though it is a cool idea, and I was thinking about, like, oh, maybe I could get it if I sold this and this and this, but I think I would rather just use my money wisely and spend it on games that I want to get on the current consoles I do, you know. But again, there was a little bit where I thought, I was like, oh, maybe I should get it, but now I'm good. But yeah, I think it's a neat thing, and it is, but I still view it as basically, yeah, it's Valve's, you know, Switch answer. They basically just ripped off the Switch. I'm sorry, like, that doesn't mean it's not cool, but it is a rip-off, like, basically, you know. But what do I know, I guess. But anyways, guys, I think that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Again, we didn't get that many questions, but as of me recording this video, it's like about to be 35 minutes long, and I'm going to be cutting it down a little bit, but it was still pretty long, and I had a lot to say for the questions. So yeah, I think I got all the questions. I don't think anyone else asked questions. If I forgot one, or if you want to answer questions below, I can answer them in the comments, you know. But otherwise, that's going to be it for this Q&A video. I hope you enjoyed. You know, thank you so much again for 1,000 subscribers. I'm happy we reached this goal. I hope we get to 1,000 more, you know, 10,000. It would be crazy if we get to like 1 million or 100,000, you know, or whatever. But I just hope you guys keep watching my stuff, you know, keep enjoying my content, because it really means a lot to me that you guys are around here to watch my stuff and you care about me. You know, I'm the most important person here, no, but like, it's just nice to see that. So I got, at least right now, like 10 comments with a lot of questions from different people. Now, I'm getting most of these questions from my community post, which I posted, what, like 3 weeks ago or something by now? Yeah, 3 weeks ago. But there's also a video where I told you guys to ask questions, and I think there's one question there. And then I also put it on my social media. I don't think I got any, but I'm going to be checking all of them. But for the most part, all the questions are coming from this community post, which I posted 3 weeks ago. So, yeah. Let's get right into it, shall we? And I told you guys to ask as many questions as you wanted. So, first question here is from James, otherwise known as Peepers. He changed his name, as I think this is his second channel. Anyway, first question, how am I doing? I am doing okay. It's been a rough couple of weeks, like a month, really, because like for the first, like, you know, like week or two of March, I felt like the happiest I've been in my entire life, because I met what I thought was a really nice girl named Maya. We had a lot in common. Then we were gonna have our third date in the third week, and then she like canceled, like not even last minute. I was ready, and then she was like, oh, I don't want to do it because she got overwhelmed. And it kind of just been a downward spiral afterwards, where we kind of been fighting, and we argued, and then we became kind of friends, and then now I decided to stop talking with her, at least for a good while. Maybe I'll contact her again in a couple months. But it's just been rough, you know. But I'm overall now, I'm feeling okay, you know. I'm feeling fine. I still feel sad, you know. I still think about her because, man, we had so much in common, and it sucks. You know, we just, my God, I don't know. I talk more about it in a separate video, but overall, I'm doing better. Question 2, how does it feel to have 1,500 subscribers? It feels pretty good. I was not expecting to hit this milestone pretty soon. I think we've been hitting like 500 subscribers every year, which is crazy. I'm really happy about that. It's crazy to think that there's a lot of you guys that want to watch me, you know, and it means the world to me. Technically, I had like 30 or 50 subscribers at the beginning, you know, before I started making YouTube stuff. That's because I commented a lot and people subscribed, because why not? But, you know, so there's like 50 or 30 people that, you know, probably, I mean, maybe they unsubscribed, but, you know, there's like some unaccounted for that didn't know I made, you know, before I did anything on YouTube, that they subscribed. But, you know, most of you guys subscribe because of something I have done, you know, on the channel, which I appreciate. So thank you a lot. Number 3, what is your best tip for success? Get lucky. No. Well, to be honest, it is kind of luck based. You know, that is part luck, part skill. YouTube and a lot of things, really. You know, I got kind of lucky in that I found a really nice guy, Mr. Dawson, Dr. Dawson, from the Sills YouTube channel, who has like 10,000 subscribers. They found me and they shouted me out at least one time, I think maybe 2 times, I don't know, but they did that. You know, and they're really nice people over there. They talk about political stuff, you know, which is an important topic, but it's not my kind of thing in terms of on the channel, but it does interest me. But yeah, that was kind of luck based, but I guess it's also partly, you know, being authentic, you know. A lot of YouTubers and content creators are not very authentic, and I try to be my authentic self. I share a lot of myself with you guys, maybe to a detriment sometimes, because there's some bad people out there that you misuse the information, like my dad dying, to make weird jokes or whatever. I also had something recently with that Maya girl. Something happened with her. She thinks she was stalked or something by maybe one of you guys. Again, I don't want to talk about it, but you know, I've shared a lot of stuff with you guys. You know, I do keep something secret, you know, or maybe I hint at it, but I don't really talk about it. But I try to be my true self. So yeah, overall, I guess, you know, be true to yourself and also get lucky. So best, number 4 is best advice for new YouTubers. I mean, it kind of paraphrase what I said earlier of you know, be true to yourself, you know, do what you want to do. There's always people that like, oh, follow a niece, or it's, I've heard it pronounced different ways. I think it's pronounced niece, but some people say a different way. Anyway, do like something specific, you know, and also try to be different from other people. I think that's kind of true, but at the same time, you can do what you love, and you can also just do whatever, you know. I think it is important to focus on one thing on YouTube, but you know, and I do that, I mostly focus on games, but I also do other stuff, you know. I do gaming stuff like vocal covers or autism videos, and I like doing that, and it's very fun, so just have fun with it and be authentic. So, number 5, what's your favorite video of yours? My favorite video, I don't know, probably one of the vocal cover ones. I don't know, I want to say like a Steven Universe vocal cover or something. Like some sort of vocal cover, I think, is one of my favorite videos, because I always love vocal covers from other people, like what's his name, Caleb Hayes or whatever, Anna Pansu, There's other ones I can't think of, but I watched like those people, and I was very much inspired to do vocal covers from them, and I've always admired them. You know, I love singing songs, and probably one of those vocal covers, maybe a Steven Universe one, because I love Steven Universe, and I was happy I got to share. So probably maybe the first Steven Universe vocal cover I did, which was it Chains? I don't remember. I feel like it was, but either way, yeah, it was overall, you know, probably one of those, because I love vocal covers. I think I prefer them out of any video I make otherwise, which kind of sucks, because a lot of the vocal covers I do don't have anything to do with games, you know, but who cares? I'm having fun. So, yeah, anyway, what reason do you believe you made it all this way? Okay, that's number, what is that, number 6 or whatever? Okay, he kind of forgot to put 6 for that one, and then 6 is actually 7. Anyway, what reason do you believe you made it all this way? I mean, being authentic. I mean, it's just the same thing as before. Authentic, luck as well. You know, being passionate about YouTube, sharing my life with you guys to some extent. Again, I don't share everything. There's some stuff I don't share with you guys, but I try to be as open and honest as I can be, you know, and I think that's part of the reason why I come this far, is because of you guys wanting to hear from me, I guess. I don't know. What motivates me? What motivates me is money. No, well, kind of. I like making money. Of course, I don't make a lot of money, but I you know, I want to get fully monetized. That's my one big goal for hopefully this year, to get fully monetized. I get, you know, super chats and money from that, but I don't get like AdSense money from like these videos, at least not yet. So that kind of motivates me. But of course, you know, before the monetization thing, what motivates me is, again, just sharing my love for games, my interests, my passion, my life stories with you guys. So yeah. What do you love most about my community? I love that a lot of you guys are very kind. Of course, there's some trolls, you know. Oh my god, there's some trolls, but a lot of you guys are very kind. You know, we're like a family here, or at least a very close group of friends. I've seen, you know, people become friends because of my community. I've even seen someone apparently have a relationship with a girl because of my stream recently. So you guys connect to each other, and it's just overall very, you know, chill community. Again, there's some trolls here and there, but it's overall very, you know, very fun, very cool, you know, and we mostly accept each other, which I really like. You know, there's a whole mismatch of people that are autistic, have ADHD, you know, have other like diseases, or they're like gay, or they're lesbian, they're, you know, or like whatever. There's like a whole bunch of you guys, and I really appreciate that. And then he's like, sorry for all the questions, I know you need them though. No problem. James, otherwise known as Peepers. So next up we got, who is this? Siren. So number 1, are you being paid for YouTube yet? Again, I mentioned this earlier, but technically yes, but I'm not fully monetized. I'm trying to be. I get money from like super chats, memberships. By the way, links in the description if you want to do like a super things. But anyway, or become a member. But I do that. But I'm not getting money from like ads yet, but I do want to. Number 2, do you like doing YouTube? Of course I like doing it. If I didn't like doing it, I would not be doing it. You know, I always wanted to do YouTube for quite a while, many years, you know. I just didn't do it because I was worried about, you know, what would my mom say or whatever, you know. And I was like also, oh, maybe I don't have the right equipment for it, you know, but I always wanted to do it. Number 3, do I like SpongeBob? I like SpongeBob. I'm not a big SpongeBob fanatic, but I like SpongeBob. I like the middle seasons that people hate. So like season 4 through 9, those seasons. I actually like those seasons quite a bit. I grew up with those seasons. So yeah, but I like SpongeBob, though it's not, a major thing for me. So next up we got Blue here. Finally got around to this. Congrats on 1,500 subscribers. I hope you grow more. My question is, do you remember your first video game, or what was the earliest game you ever played? Is it what got you into gaming, and do you think it influenced the type of games you like now? And then I'll answer the second question later. So I don't remember quite what my first game was, to be honest. When I see this question, my initial thought is Mario Galaxy, because I think I have the earliest memories of that, though I do know I had other games and I played them technically before, but that's the one I can clearly remember. I wasn't good at it at all. Like, I remember being stuck at, like, in the introduction level or whatever with the pointer thing, where you have to first point and then shake the Wii remote to go into the star launcher in Mario Galaxy. I remember being stuck there for so long and being very confused, but like that's like my earliest memory. But I'm pretty sure I played other games, but I had games around that time too, like Mario Kart Wii, though I think Mario Galaxy was the first one. But there's just other ones that I'm like, I think maybe I played, but I know for sure Mario Galaxy, that was like one of the earliest ones. And I mean, it kind of did influence the type of games I play, because I do like platformers. I do like, Mario games. Mario games are amazing. So, like, probably, but, like, yeah, that's probably the earliest memory I have of a game. So, the second question is, what's my dream game? Like, a game you want, but that doesn't exist. Well, okay, I have 2 dream games, so sue me. The first dream game is Xenoblade Warriors. Give me that. I want it to be a canon thing of Xenoblade, but also throw in like Xenogears and Xenosaga characters there, but make it like a warrior style game. Make it canon. Maybe even this warrior style game could be like combining 2 things into one. Could be like Xenoblade Zero, where it talks about the conduit and the stuff that led into the creation of the Xenoblade 1 and 2 universe, and then led them to be merged into the Xenoblade 3. I'm not going to spoil much more besides that, but yeah, basically, maybe because I always imagine like a Xenoblade Zero, but also a Xenoblade Warriors. What if they do both, but of course they could do it separately. So actually that kind of counts as like 3 games, 3 dream games. So let's just say Xenoblade Zero, a prequel thing, Xenoblade Warriors, that's another one. And then the third one is Mario Maker 3D. I want to see Mario Maker, but in a 3D environment. But I also would like to see the 2D thing as well. Maybe have it be like 2 modes. You could be 3D or 2D, like regular Mario Maker. That would be really cool. I would love to see it, especially with the Switch 2 with the mouse mode. But I don't know. Mario Maker 2 did not sell the best. Only sold like 7 million at like for like a while or something, so low according to Nintendo. So I don't know if they'll do it, but I would say those 3. Okay, next up we got Caroline here. So since you want a lot more questions, I shall give you more questions. 1, what is your exact height in centimeters? 1B converted into miles, so your work. Okay, I'll do it, fine. Well, I don't know my exact height, to be honest. I say I'm like 5'6", but I don't know for sure. Like, I might be taller, I might be shorter, but I always say I'm 5'6". But let's look it up. 5'6" in centimeters is 167.64 centimeters. And let's do 167 point, what was it? 67 centimeters? Centimeters to miles? Miles. Sorry, I don't know how to type. It's 0.00104 miles. Okay. Did I do that right? Oh, it was 64. Okay, no, wait. I was off by like 3. Hold on, wait. Okay, 0.00104 miles. Did I say that already? It was the same thing. Well, whatever. That's my work. I Googled it. So, there you go. Okay, wait, hold on. What's the second question? What place do you want to live or vacation to? I mean, I would like to go visit France. Though probably a thing that's more likely, and I am also interested in, is Mexico, because I live close by it. You know, Texas is really close to it. Um, and you know, most of my family is from Mexico, or at least has ancestry there. But I say France because, one, Eiffel Tower, beautiful place. But you know, I'm also a little bit of French from my great grandfather, so I would like to visit maybe one of those two. But probably France is what I'm leaning towards, because it feels like less likely, but I would like to visit. So, number 3, what was the best place you've been? Well, the only one that I can remember is Roswell, New Mexico. I've been to Colorado, but I don't remember it at all. I think I remember like a house, going into a family member's house or something, but I don't remember anything else there. Roswell's the only one I do remember. It traumatized me because of aliens, but probably that. I haven't been to many places. My family, like my dad and mom, used to travel a lot. But before I was born, and even when I was born, but I don't remember a lot of it. Roswell is the only one I really remember, so probably that. Well, if you're talking about like cities or whatever, I guess place could also be like, oh, I don't know, a restaurant or something. If you're talking about a restaurant, there was this restaurant, I don't remember what the name was, but they had like really good burgers, really good fries, but then they closed down. So anyway, those are 2 answers. Number 4, what do you have for breakfast? I had for breakfast today a cheeseburger and a burrito. Yeah, that's what I ate. So yeah. Number 5, what are you looking forward to the most that is in the Switch 2? Getting a girlfriend. I feel like I feel like I can do it. I have confidence, you know. With Maya, she told me that, I was very handsome, and I get a decent amount of matches on these dating apps. There's, of course, what comes afterwards is kind of an issue, because sometimes they unmatch me as soon as I stop talking, or they don't respond at all, or we talk for a little bit and then I ask them out and then they unmatch me then. But I get matches, not to like, oh, I'm a player, but like, I get a decent amount, so I think I'm a little bit above average now. So I think it's possible for me to like get into a relationship. I never had one before, so I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Probably not what you expected, or maybe it was, because of what I've been saying for the past few weeks, but yeah, probably that. Getting a girlfriend, baby. Otherwise, getting fully monetized on YouTube, I don't know, but I feel like that's more ways away. Anyway, number 6, would you start over your YouTube channel for $5 million out of your fans' pockets? Yes. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Here's the thing. I want that money. I do. I like money, okay? I love money. But I want to at least keep my content up. If maybe if I get $5 million and I have to start over a new channel, but this channel still exists, I just like lost the password or something, then cool, because I want my stuff to be up there for forever. I don't like the idea of YouTubers deleting stuff. I have deleted some stuff before, but mostly I like to keep things up as is. I really dislike it when YouTubers delete stuff or private it, because they're like depressed or they quit YouTube or whatever. I don't want that. So if I can keep that money and keep my videos up here, I just lose the password and I have to make a new YouTube channel to make more videos, I'm cool with that, but if I have to delete my channel for 5 million, that's going to be a little bit harder, because I think I would still do it because it's a lot of money. But at the same time, I like the videos I made, so I probably would say yes either way, but it would be way more harder if I couldn't keep the stuff up. So, yeah. Number 7, what do you hope to see on the Switch 2? Well, I hope to see Xenoblade Warriors, Xenoblade 0, Xenoblade 4 eventually, Xenoblade X2, the Xenoblade stuff, Xenogears, Xenosaga, Mario Maker 3, what else? A new Mario, Maybe Mario Odyssey 2, probably not going to happen, but a new Mario, that's probably what I hope to see for Switch 2. Yeah. And number 8, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Caroline. The next question is from Fizzy. Have you ever had a video that you were editing that failed so horrible you scrapped the entire video? Not really. No, I've had editing mishaps where I uploaded it and then I'm like, oh my god, I messed up. So sometimes I had to like take down the video and like re-edit it and to fix it. Or you know, I'm about to upload it and then there's like some weird audio thing wrong, so then I have to re-edit it again. But at least I didn't upload it, you know, to YouTube and then had to delete it. But I never had one where it's like I just decided to like scrap the video altogether because of weird editing issues. But I have had weird editing issues and it caused issues with like I just really disliked it, you know. Sometimes there's stuff where I can't do anything about it and it bugs me. Like recently for the compilation video for one of the compilation videos I did, I think for browsing the subscription services for the, you know, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox, there was like one part for the transition that like was like very off center and it really bugged me and I wanted to take it down, but it was like 4 hours the video, the compilation, so that it would just not be worth it. So that's bugged me, but I never had anything where I deleted it or scrapped the entire video. So yeah. Caroline has another question. So first of all, already at 1,500 subscribers, when did that happen? My questions are, if you could change anything you did in the past related to your content, what would you change? And then I'll answer the second question in a bit. But well, if I would change anything you did in the past related to your content, I think I would probably I think I would probably change, like, from the very beginning. I really wanted to be just a YouTube channel, even though I like talking about other stuff. You know, I kind of like blended it in with like gaming, like, oh, talking about the Owl House finale while playing Smash Ultimate, that was one. Or I did non-gaming videos, but they were for like April Fools, you know, like my special interest, you know, for autism. But I always wanted to do that, and it took me like a few months or something to be like, okay, I'm just gonna do mostly gaming, but also other stuff when I feel like. So maybe I would change that to be like, oh, I could do whatever I want for the most part. I'm gonna mostly focus on gaming, but I'll do other stuff here and there when I want to, like from the beginning. So maybe I would change that. And then the second question is, do you have any birds? Weird question. Yeah. By the way, a lot of these are like kind of inside jokes with with my fans, with my viewers, you know. Like, you know, the bird thing, happy birthday, like they're kind of inside jokes if you're on streams. But yeah, I do have a bird, in case someone out there actually doesn't know. He screams a lot in my videos. You hear him a lot in the background. His name is Paquito. He's adorable. He's my baby. So yeah, he's a parrot, specifically a monk Quaker parrot. So yeah. Next up we got Matt, who says, will you ever play Roblox? Trust me, some games on Roblox are amazing and they are massive. Talking about that, do you know what else is massive? Your subscriber count. Well, thank you. I'm glad you didn't lead that to something else. But I think I might play Roblox at some point. Because, you know, I do have it on Xbox. My brother plays it. But I could always play it myself. You know, I'm not opposed to playing Roblox. But, you know, I don't know if I would ever do it. At least for like a while, you know. But I appreciate the suggestion. So, Line of Snow asks, what's a game you love that no one else does? Okay, I'm thinking. Because there's a couple of games where I like and people don't, or at least not that much. And there's also some games that I think are like a little bit overrated. Like, I don't really care about them, but people do. So, which one? I don't know. Honestly, the only thing I can think of right now, I'm sure there's better examples, but the one I can think of right now is Pokemon Sword. And it's not to say that people, there's people that don't like that game. I see some people that like it, but mostly people are like, they think it's mid or it's fine, it's just kind of underwhelming. But and there's of course other people that think it sucks. But I really like that game actually quite a bit. It was my first Pokemon game. So maybe that, again, that's not to say that people don't like that game at all. I have seen people say they do like it. But I usually see like hate towards it, and all the Switch Pokemon games. I actually like them all. Actually, maybe a better example would be Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, because I see way more people dislike that game, and I like that game quite a bit too. I think it's the weakest, probably of the Pokemon Switch games, but I still like it. So I don't know, maybe one of those two. But I think there's better examples that I could think of. I just don't know which ones right now. So, and then the last question, which I technically did reply to, but I had no idea. But now I do. So, what is your MBTI type? So I heard of this, but I didn't know exactly what it was. I knew it was something to do with personalities, but I didn't really look into it. I just replied, I'm not sure. But I do know because on Boo, which is a dating app I have, I did take a test of the MBTI, and I am NTJI. Okay, let me double check real quick. Okay, I am INFJ. That's the type. So, it's something to do with being, I forgot what it is. I looked it up. Actually, I was told this by Maya. Anyway, but I forgot exactly what it is, but you can look it up. But that's my type. I already forgot what it was. INJ. Oh God, whatever I said, like when I came back. I don't really know that much about the personality type, so my apologies. But that's all for the questions for the community post. But now let me check the YouTube video to see if there's any questions. And then I'll also check my other social media stuff. Yeah. Okay. So Caroline left something else. I don't know if this is actually a question, but I'll read it out loud anyway. 1,500. I was your 555 subscriber. That was in August 2023. It's weird to think about that because I still think I'm new to this channel. Also, it's cool to see you becoming more confident, become a lot more confident, and your content evolve. Looking back to when I joined, you barely talked and you seemed uncomfortable. I'm proud about your status about the girl. Yeah, this was when things were going well with her. Anyway, and tell me how. Is that a question? I might consider that a question. Good job on getting 1,500 subscribers too. If I haven't mentioned, and have fun playing Xenoblade X, which I have been. So I guess I'll answer the question about my status with with Maya, and how I did it. So I mean, I don't even remember exactly how. I think I commented on her post, talking about on Hinge, that dating app. I still think that might be my favorite dating app, by the way. But I said how I like Big Bang Theory too. She liked it, and then I like Sheldon, and I said who was her favorite character. She told me Roz. She later told me that she likes Roz, but she likes Amy the most. But she didn't want to say Amy because it would seem like we're already a thing. Anyway, she told me Roz, and then we started talking from there, and we talked for like, I don't know, 2 hours or an hour before I decided to ask her out on a virtual date. And the key, it's kind of hard because I still need work on it, but the key is to ask questions, and then when they respond, share something from yourself as well, and then go deeper into something else. Like if they talk about your favorite movies, and then they say Terminator, you're like, oh yeah, I love Terminator too. It's a great movie franchise. How long? When did you first watch Terminator, the series? And then are you interested in robots, like science fiction in general? They go deeper. And I'm still trying to learn this myself. But that's what I've learned. So again, does that count as a question? Sure, I'll count it. Caroline, you got in here 3 times, so good job. And then the other people are just saying congratulations, on this YouTube video. So yeah. Now let me check my other social media stuff. I know I have it on Facebook and Instagram. The thing, I don't know if I have it on Twitter or other stuff, but I guess we'll see. So I'll be right back in a flash. Okay, I have checked on Instagram and Facebook. It's been really hard to check on Instagram stuff because that's where me and Maya used to talk. I'm still bringing her up. You know, I said I'm fine now, not over it. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, you know, I checked those. Those were where I also posted about the you know, ask questions. I did not get any there. Boo-hoo, so sad. And I did not post it on like Twitter, so that means I only posted it on those two social media things. Because if I posted on Twitter, I posted it like everywhere as well. So those are the only questions I have, you know, mostly for the community post, but technically one from the YouTube video. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the third Q&A I've ever done, guys. I hope you enjoyed. You know, I really enjoy doing these Q&As. It sucks because I want to do more Q&A stuff, but a lot of you guys don't want to ask questions. You know, and maybe it's because I share a lot already, but you know, I just wanted more questions, and I don't know if these questions were more than the last 2 years Q&As. You know, at the very least, I know my mom and brother did not have any questions for me. I told them to ask questions, but they couldn't think of anything. So yeah, I kind of wish you guys asked me more questions, but I do appreciate all the questions you do ask me. You know, it was always fun. You know, I hope I could do more Q&As in the future where I get more questions. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for 1,500 subscribers. We're actually at like 1,551 subscribers, at least as of me recording this. So thank you a lot. You know, we hit like 50 more subscribers within like a month or something of when I first announced this. So yeah, I really do appreciate it. Well, that's gonna be it, guys, for this compilation video. I hope you enjoyed. I kept most of the videos the same. You know, I cut out some parts like where I was just talking, not at all, but like I was talking about for the second part, doing a premiere for that video, I just cut that out. And for the first part, I made it so that it was more in line with the other two parts. Obviously, like I mentioned before, with the editing, but also, you know, making sure the questions were on screen most of the time, just like the other two parts. But otherwise, I kept like, you know, most of, you know, the talk about like at the end where I was like thanking you guys, because I think that's important to keep for these compilation videos. You know, especially because they were originally celebrating a huge milestone for my channel. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe. It really means the world to me. Play some Xenoblade, and I'll catch you all next time for more. Peace. Bye, everyone.